Good morning. Wednesday, the 8th of July, and my husband's birthday. And in case you're wondering about the uniform this morning, I have a funeral a little bit later on, so I'm dressed ready for that. So I've turned again this morning to Eddie Askew, to his book, one of his many, called Facing the Storm. And he has, as you know, a few thoughts and then a kind of piece of poetry stroke prose. And this one's based on Ephesians 3. And he writes, reading a hymn today, I came across the phrase, for the truths that still confound us, thanks be to God. It's a provocative thought. It's so easy to think that truth is simple, a matter of black and white, right and wrong. But it's more complicated, and life is a puzzling mixture, often. And he goes on in this, but he then says, I take comfort from two thoughts. The first is from George Braque, the painter who shares the credit for Cubism with Picasso. He said, truth exists, only falsehood has to be invented. And the second encouragement comes from St. Paul, who tells the Christians in Ephesus about the unsearchable riches of Christ. We live by what we know. We try to stay faithful to what we believe. But we need to accept that we see darkly, and the whole of God's glorious light waits for us further on. So with the hymn writer, I thank God for truths that still confound me. There's always more to come when I'm ready to take it. And then the little poetry type part of this. Lord, there are moments when I'm honest enough to admit I'm not infallible. Not often, Lord. Just now and then, I'm able to acknowledge a few small areas of life where I'm not completely in control. I admit at times that life bewilders me with grey half tones, when I'd like to see it all in black and white. Retreat for comfort into simple certainties. The trouble is, Lord, that my certainties conflict with other people's certainties. And that confuses me, makes judgment harder. Yet through the uncertainties I sense your hand, pushing me into deeper water. Not so that I risk drowning, although it sometimes feels that way, but so that I may swim more strongly, learn to think and feel with greater sensitivity. So, Lord, where certainties collide, give me the openness to look afresh, not only at what others think, but at my own beliefs. And when the tension shows and understanding goes away on holiday, help me to love and wait for you, Spirit of Truth, to lead me deeper into truth, whatever it may be. So there's a lot of things in there about doubt and certainty, and I guess a lot of our certainties have been challenged over the last few months, and they've confused us, they've confounded us. And yet, through all of this, God has held us. God has been there and has upheld each and every one of us. And if it's felt sometimes that we were indeed being pushed into deeper water, here we are. Here we are, maybe beginning to see the light at the end of this particular dark patch. Maybe there'll be more dark patches to come. Who knows? God knows. And I love the thought that the certainty of God's love is just there, that we will be upheld, that we will be taught to swim more strongly where the deep waters feel too much for us. And so I leave you with the hymn alluded to in that passage, to a lovely Welsh tune. Until tomorrow, God bless.